North Texas won the toss and deferred, which means that Marshall, including overtime last week, is 0-8 in coin tosses this year. Doesn't mean anything other than they're getting the ball first. You can feel it. It is gusting up 20 to 25 miles an hour. Certainly something that may have an effect as this game goes on. Mooney boots it with the wind, and it's certainly returnable. Here comes Johnson, and he's tripped up at the 19-yard line. North Texas trying to get fired up early in this ball game. Marshall, and they are great. Another early jump. This is going to give it to Marshall another free play. He's taking the free shot down the field, and he's got it. Willie Johnson tracking it all the way with Davis on him.
It's a first down.
Yeah, Grant Wells looking to the left, knowing that he's going to the right the entire way. And Willie Johnson playing leverage there, going up and attacking the football. They teach defensive backs, hey, when the ball is in the air, go up, and they want to go for it. They want to put points on the board. They want to push the ball downfield. And they're in a groove right now on the offensive side.
Last week, 1 of 3 on 4th down. They need the 21-yard line. Wells to the air, put it right on Gamage, and he's got the first down. Quinn Whitlock, who missed last week's game against Missouri with a neck injury, gave him too much coverage, and their leading receiver picked up the first.
Yeah, that's a good read from Grant Wells, seeing the all-out zero blitz coverage, knowing that the defensive backs are inside leverage. The weakness of the route is to the outside. And anytime Corey Gamage gets one-on-one.
Back to action after the second down grab. It is 3rd and 3. At the North Texas 8-yard line for Grant Wells. Hands it off to Ali, busts through the middle, breaks a tackle, and into the end zone. Rasheen Ali refused to go down, and Marshall's on the board.
Oh, just running through the defenders, and that's what you like to see early in the game. Do not be denied inside the tackles, inside the box, and that's what Rasheen Ali can do. He can run around you, or he can run through you, and you see it there. The first guy can't get him on the gown. Continue to spin, running.
Freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, who is making a name for himself, although it's a name you recognize. Ali for 6. Torrey 3, he gets his second carry, and he's thrown down. Jamari Edwards, maybe the best defensive lineman for this Marshall team, with back-to-back tackles and a big 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, and he plays the interior. You see it there with the swim move. 2-down territory.
And Salguero is back on the field for Marshall, back in at left guard, who left momentarily. The draw, Ali, hole opens up, got a block and spins his way to a 1st down. Got away from Gaddy all the way down to the 30, and Ali's got another 1st down for the Thundering Herd.
And you know what, Jason? This, for me, is just a foot in the ground.
85-7, the last 3 games, the combined score at the half against Louisiana Tech, UAB, and then Missouri. Wells taking a shot, Gaines hung on. Gaddy hit him right in the midsection, and Xavier Gaines somehow hung onto the football, and it is Gaddy who was down on the turf.
Wells did a good job coming back to his second read. Gaines here, who made the incredible catch, knowing that he was going to get hit. Usually when they get Gamage backside 3 by. I'll tell you what, Jason, I'm expecting a flag on every play now.
Now don't positive energy, Dante. On 2nd and goal, Wells to his right, finds the man who was just depleted, and Ahmed takes it inside the 3.
To make guys miss. He made 3 defenders miss on that play.
Had a 10-play drive earlier. This is the 10th of this drive. Wells got away from the pressure, puts his head down and scores. Grant Wells took off his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and a pair of 10-play drives that resulted in a 13-0 lead.
And that's the evolution of Grant Wells. That's the evolution of Marshall's offense, giving him multiple options. He could have handed it off there. He could have thrown it. But why not run it in with your legs? Good decision-making early from Wells. Wells wanted to come out and show the nation that he is one of the top quarterbacks, and he can do it through the air, he can do it with his legs, and he has the Marshall Thundering Herd on top.
Wells down the middle of the field. Hung on to, and a great grab. Jaden Harrison went up high to get it before Francis hit him in the midsection.
And I like the way that Wells is playing right now. They're moving the pocket. They're not leaving him back there like a sitting duck. Just a cover 3, 4 even defenders dispersed underneath.
On first down, Ali to the edge. And he got about 7. Nixon for Rasheen Ali, who is 3rd in Conference USA at over 93 yards a game. And he's already added to his total now 12 rushing touchdowns, which leads the country. Wells thinking about a shot. Back to Scarcelli. What a grab! His left arm was tied up, used his right to pull in what is his 4th catch of the year. So now Wells is back in after his one play that he had to sit out. Fires over to the far side. Harrison dives for the pylon. Touchdown! Grant Wells, his first passing touchdown of the night, to go with 1 on the ground, and a 3-touchdown lead for the Thundering Herd.
And this is the Grant Wells that we thought we would see all year long. Decisive, getting the ball out early to the edge so his playmakers can do the rest. Diving in for the touchdown, taking hits.
11 offensive plays.
Yeah, and they can't get first downs. And this is what the high-tempo offense is about, getting the first down so you can get into your groove on offense.
And Torrey back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing else. Abraham Popeland.
We haven't seen any of that here yet.
Again, it's Torrey. And again, it's blown up. This time it's T.J. Johnson knocking him back for a couple of yards.
T.J. Johnson, Jameer Edwards, these guys are penetrating, tackle for loss demons right now. You can't shake this guy. You want to see your quarterback fight through adversity, come out and lead this team to points.
This one to Gamage. That is 7 consecutive completions. And he takes it out over the 30-yard line for a first down. And
doesn't look like the safety is going to be over the top.
that is with Whitlock.
Yeah, they bailed the safety out.
He did, but play action work coming across the middle on a crossing route. It's Johnson into North Texas territory. Davis tracked him down, but another big play, and so they were grinding out drives. Now they're bit and chunk plays.
Now they go into that high-octane offense, throwing the ball downfield. A simple dig route to Willie Johnson.
Sheldon Evans in the backfield with Grant Wells, who has hit on his last 8 passes. Handoff does go to Evans, trying the left side, and they push it forward for about 7.
He does. He has the ability to make special plays, catching the ball on wheel routes, over the shoulder, making certain cuts. And he said he'll ask him, like, you know that cut you just made? He's like, what, coach? That's normal for me.
Humble was the word he used to describe him. That's 9 straight connections for Wells. This one out to Gamage, who falls beyond the first down marker, move the sticks again.
And that's what you want to see from your big, massive target, Gamage out there. Easy throw, wide receiver screen. Normally they don't throw screens to bigger guys like this, but the ability that he has to make you miss, they're not playing complementary football. When your offense can't get first downs, it wears down the defense.
Ahmed in the back. Wells fires, caught. Gamage wrestled down around the 15-yard line. That's a pickup of 16, and Whitlock made the stop. And they are in the red zone again.
Tim Cramsey, he's moving Wells around the pocket, and you see it. Just nice extension at the end of the route, coming back to the ball, going up and getting it. They're going to continue to throw the ball to Gamage. You can't play one-on-one.
In the 4th. Lost both of those games. This is 4th and 2. Ali cuts it back, and he's got a first down. Rasheen Ali down to the 30-yard line, and it's 1st and goal for the Thundering Herd.
And that's a good push from the offensive line. You'll see it a little mishap on the handoff. You never want to receive it as a running back with your hands. You want it to be in your gut. But look at those guys in the middle getting the push. And
defense has been the problem for Phil Bennett all season. 200 yards a game they've allowed. Only 53 tonight. Wells faked it, kept it. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Grant Wells has accounted for 3 scores and Seth Luttrell's team in a huge hole.
And we talked about when Grant Wells' legs come alive and it's in the red zone. You see an easy read there. Everybody played the dot, but they're getting some good tempo. They're getting some momentum and picking up some first downs now.
The toss to Johnson, ripped to the turf. Eli Neal, who's 4th in Conference USA with tackles for a loss.
And that's his 5th tackle for loss on the season. And that's a great play, disengaging with the outside tackle. And here, I think you have to go back to the freshman McMillan at the top. He's the only one with the one-on-one man coverage up there. Give him an opportunity.
He's looking the other way, pressure in his face, down the middle, intercepted! Corey McCoy with a pick for the 2nd consecutive week. Racing it up the Marshall sideline.
The field on defense. They've given up 28 points. On offense, your quarterback staring down it, throwing it late over the middle. That's a big no-no. I thought that he was better when he escaped the pocket last week, when they intentionally moved him outside the pocket and allowed him to run the ball. And you see it, McCoy cutting back again on the sideline. Yeah, because it's levels to defense. It's the initial call, it's the play during the play, and then if you get an interception, everybody's going to block, go down the nearest sideline with the ball closest to the sideline. Gaines on a big play.
And that's a wide open Xavier Gaines down the lane for a touchdown. My goodness.
And he is a big play threat just waiting to happen. It looks like it might have been a bust in the coverage there. Just a shallow route. There's no defender in sight. Easiest touchdown he'll probably ever get. And they talk about his versatility. He played wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, slot, running back. Actually had 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a do-it-all player for Marshall.
No question about it.
And getting the ball out to his playmakers.
Man, he was a huge reason why they started last year during the COVID season 7-0. Looking to pass. Steps in the pocket, finds Ali, streaking down the field. Rasheen Ali into the secondary, trying to answer Torrey. Finally brought down at the 15-yard line. That's a 50-yard pickup.
And Ali was not the first option on this one. You see it, one of the defenders had to fall down or blow the coverage. Oh, it looks like the defender just get beat in the flat, and you give it to Ali. He's going to do the rest, cut back across field. Just a huge play from Marshall. Maybe he's going to run some type of outside fade ball here.
He just moved Ali to his right. It is a draw. Rasheen Ali makes the first man miss, cuts it upfield, runs over a defender, stretches the ball across, and they'll mark him down at the 1. It did come out, but they're going to mark him down at the 1. It was recovered by Marshall anyway.
And that's the footwork that he talked about getting from boxing. Did you see? He looks like he's running on air right there. The second time they run the draw, adjusting the football, but look how he's able to turn his body and feet more competitively move at the same time.
And they gave it right
There's
back
a flag
to him.
on the play.
And there are flags everywhere. Now Lee's in the end zone. Marshall is celebrating. There are 5 flags in the end zone.
Check themselves and come out and compete competitively in this second half.
Players on the field, running off the field. They might have had 14 players at one point. And to get to your point, they hiked the ball and there's nobody,
Pocket, deep balls, ultimate competitor, starter from day one. And he just haven't had him. Oh, almost interception.
Yeah, McCoy almost had his second. He was taking a shot downfield. So 1:29 to go here in the second quarter. He was looking for Ward.
And that's a pretty headsy play from McCoy there. He's playing quarters coverage. I mean, he has number 2 vertical all the way to the goal line. But if number 2 runs a shorter route, he sloughs off and get under the post from number 1. Nearly had the interception.
Marshall brings the blitz. Trying to escape. Wrapped up behind the line. Eli Neal with the sack.
And that's what they want. Coming into the game, 2nd in the nation with 24 sacks. Eli Neal, that's his 5th sack on the season. And how many times have we seen him in the backfield, running around, making tackles? About 3 or 4 times. Neal is really putting his stamp on this game.
Well, so Marshall has, as you'd expect, 3 players 40 yards away from the line of scrimmage. He's just going to load up. He's not taking a shot to the end zone. What can go wrong? How about an interception? And Eli Neal goes to the ground.
Hasn't turned it over, and they've been able to do whatever they want. Run the ball, throw the ball. Ali has 2 touchdowns They're getting it done on offense.
And with the exception of the one play for DeAndre Torrey, the defense has been fantastic tonight, too. He actually started as a guy who was known for flowing blonde locks. That was his original MO. That obviously changed.
Yeah, I used to be in love with his specialty move, the Stone Cold Stunner.
That is a completion there to Xavier Gaines. That is 16 consecutive completions for Grant Wells, a new Marshall record. And he's not, it doesn't look like there's any time of stopping.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he is, and the defense isn't putting up any resistance. He's just come out focused tonight. I wanted to prove to everybody that he is one of the top quarterbacks, even though he does lead the nation in interceptions.
Now, the old record belonged to Byron Leftwich, who had 13 in one game against Buffalo in 2003. That one's drilled in there, too. Willie Johnson, back shoulder grab in front of Whitlock.
And Grant Wells read that perfectly off the RPO action. He waited for the second hole to open up and deliver the strike in there to Willie Johnson. Well, you're going to continue to run your same offense. Charles Huff, he doesn't want to take his foot off the gas, and he knows that it's about the games down the road, not necessarily about the game tonight.
Gaines ripped that one out of the air. That is 18 consecutive completions for Wells. One of those went for a 33-yard touchdown to Gaines.
And that's how you snag the ball over the middle with your hands, going up and getting it, making a defender miss, and it's been all North Texas. And he talks about discipline at all levels. It's different forms of discipline. Okay, alignment, assignment, and responsibility, but what do you do post-play? What do you do when you're pursuing the ball from a defense? He's gotten it all from his team tonight.
Off the bounce, Burns fields it at the 20. Reverses field, and he's brought down. Another one of those plays. Naquan Reynolds and special teams bringing him down after a 2-yard loss on a punt to 50. Marshall, all three phases of the game tonight have been good.
They've only given up 100 yards rushing the UAB, and they virtually stumped 3 ranked opponents. This is an NFL defense in college right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a bunch of NFL guys.
Up there, number 6 right now. We're going to get into that Final Four.
Positive about that.
I'm positive about that.
Ali falls forward for 6 more yards.
One of the twins was going to make a play on the quarterback, and it just so happened to be Grayson.
Torrey wrapped up. E.J. Jackson.
And he's continuing to play, and that's a good play for a safety. Being down in the box, one-on-one with the back on the edge.
Not going to go much.
Off guard, but they haven't. They stuck to their normal offense.
Well, and remember, they've also already made a quarterback change because it wasn't going well with Chase Ruder the first with 13 minutes to go, as is Rasheen Ali, who gets the handoff, has some space, cut it upfield. Ali with speed, trying to get to the end zone, chased down at the 5. Deshaun Gaddy, a touchdown-saving tackle, but it might just be for the moment.
And that's where the patience for Ali comes into play. You'll see it here. Just looking for the cutback, getting in the gap, breaking one tackle, and I thought he was off to the right.
Wells has a pair of tight ends in the backfield with him, Amir Richardson and Garrett Morrell.
Hat trick.
3rd rushing touchdown tonight for Grant Wells. Dante, he had 2 rushing touchdowns on the season coming into the night, but he's got what you called the hat trick, the 3rd.
The hat trick, remember, it comes alive in the red zone. He pulls the ball. It gives him the option to pull the ball and get it in with his legs, and he does exactly that.
Now, Marshall was picked to win the East Division this season, and if they get the production from Grant Wells and Rasheen Ali, plus the defense that showed up tonight, the rest of the way, you might be watching the team that's going to get back into Conference USA's championship, but there's a long way to go.
If they turn the ball over and this defense plays the way that they played tonight and they don't hurt themselves with penalties and mistakes, they could go undefeated for the rest of the way.
Now Payne gets across the first down marker. Marshall blocking players into their bench, and that's what you don't need here at the end of the game, and that is exactly what all the coaching staff is trying to do. Deshaun Gaddy is over there yelling at the Marshall bench. But in a game that has completely been one-sided, a game that is over, You don't want any of this here in the final 54 seconds.
Well, as long as you don't pick up a penalty, but you like your offensive linemen finishing defenders, almost taking them all the way to the cooler on that one. So that'll be, you know, something that they will look at, especially the coaching staff, and say, hey, we started fast, we sustained, and look, our offensive line took guys all the way to the cooler when the game was over in the fourth quarter. You love to see it from your offensive line.
Well, with 47 seconds to go, after the timeout, Grant Wells is back out there. And clearly he is the only person who has practiced the victory formation, because otherwise you don't put him back out there in the final few seconds with the emotions as high as they've been.
Jason, you know what they say the best play in football is, especially when you're on the winning team?
Well, that one.
Yeah, that's the best play in football. When you know that you won the game, you take one more snap, quarterback kneel it down. Now we can go and celebrate. Best play in football. Charles Huff, he doesn't look happy right there, but he's happy with the win.
So they never started the play clock. They did snap that at 57 seconds. They certainly did not take 7 seconds on the play. So I think they expected to have to snap it one more time. The play clock is still not running. But let's be honest, for everybody's advantage, they just shouldn't snap it again.
Yeah, it's over.
Nobody should make anybody snap that ball again.
It's all over. Marshall gets away with the win. Move on to 4-3.
And that is exactly what they will do. Charles Huff said he wasn't sure exactly what he was going to get. He knew his team was capable of a big performance, carrying over from the overtime win against Old Dominion, and he certainly got it.
And everything that he's been preaching all year long has finally come to fruition tonight.